everyone, Anuj Chabda here. We have already discussed how to grow hibiscus flower in a healthy manner. Now we'll be discussing what all challenges we face when we grow hibiscus. So first and foremost is the spotting of these kind of leaves. You see yellow spots on the leaves. Okay. So first we'll talk about the problems what we have, and then we'll talk about the solution. So this is one problem we face when we grow hibiscus. The second is the leaves in a lighter color but the veins are in a darker colors. Sometimes the entire leaf is yellow. Sometimes the leaves are curled, completely curled. Okay. Sometimes the bud has formed but it has not bloomed. Sometimes the bud only, as soon as the bud forms, it falls. Okay. So these are the few problems we keep seeing regularly when we grow hibiscus. Now why these problems are coming? We have made a proper potting mix, we are giving nutrition, we are watering it nicely, and it is kept in good sunlight. Though we have done everything, still all these problems are there. So how to deal with them? So before taking any treatment or any step in fertilizing this plant, we should understand what exactly is affecting our plants. So as I told you, these are the few symptoms. Now when you see this, that means it has some deficiency. This and this are the symptoms of deficiency of iron and magnesium. This was the symptom of yellowing of the leaves, is symptom of overwatering. This curling of the leaves is because of aphids or mealybugs attack. Okay. So now why these are happening? So sometimes the first problem is either underwatering or overwatering. Sometimes we see that the temperature is okay, so this plant does not need much water, so we ignore watering, and the plant dries it, the soil dries it really very fast. As I told you earlier also, this plant loves moisture but the soil should be well drained. So we have to keep checking the soil that it should be always moist. If not possible for you to water it daily, at least surround it with other plants so that the moisture is maintained well. That is one reason. Secondly, if it's heavy rain, so the plant, as I told you, it does not like too much of water, but due to heavy rains the soil is too much of moist, so the leaves start turning yellow and ultimately they fall. That is one reason. Sometimes you can say whatever the nutrition we have given it to in the soil, it is not been available to the plant. Why? Sometimes the pH, all plants, especially the flowering plants, they need acidic soil to grow really well, because all the nutrients in the soil, whatever is there, it will be available to the plant if the pH of the soil, that is the acidity or the alkalinity, pH is maintained well, that is it should be in between 5.5 to 6.5. If that is there, that we can measure with this kind of a pH meter you get, which once you water the soil, you just put this inside the soil for some time, you will see how much the pH of your soil is there. So if the pH of the soil is towards an alkalinity, that means whatever the nutrients, the micronutrients are there in the soil, the plant is not able to absorb them. So even if we are providing the nutrition to the plant is not able to take it. So these are the symptoms for that. Though it is there in the soil, it is not available to that. Okay. So we have to check the pH of the soil if that is correct, or if it is not, we have to make it properly. If it is acidic, we have to make it alkaline. If it is alkaline, we have to make it acidic, keeping 5.5 to 6.5 as a standard for this plant. Sometimes this you can say the calcium deficiency. Because of calcium deficiency also, this plant is not able to absorb many of the micronutrients. so which will show in the form of this magnesium ion deficiency. So what we have to do, we have to take lime or chuna, we have to dilute it in water. You can say 1 liter, 1 teaspoon is more than enough. So if you dilute that and give it to your plants, so the calcium content of the soil will be really good, and the pH is also maintained to quite a good amount if lime is added to the soil. So in whatever case, regular monitoring of your pH is must in your floral plant basically. Okay, now we'll talk about the aphids and mealybug attacks. Okay, this plant needs regular pruning. If you don't do regular pruning, then the aphids and mealybugs will tend to attract towards the tiny tender shoots, and they'll be the multiplication will be so fast that within a week or 10 days the whole plant is in the control of, you can say, the pest of mealybugs and aphids. So the first thing what you have to do is weekly once you have to spray either the soap nut solution with a few drops of neem oil. Weekly once you have to spray, give a nice wash to this plant. Sometimes if you give the this soap nut solution spray regularly to your plants, that aphids and mealybug is automatically controlled. Sometimes due to some reasons you could not spray that, and you see that already the infection has started coming, and you see few mealybugs and aphids already have attacked your plant. So in that case you have to be little you have to take a stronger step. Either you have to prune your plant, the places where it is infected, you have to remove the infected parts, and you have to spray your bioenzyme or your compost tea. So these also to some extent they help in controlling your aphids and mealybug attacks. So if that is controlled, the plant is really healthy. The only thing we have to make sure, you don't have to wait for the attack to happen. Before that only, regular spray of your neem oil with soap solution, diluted soap solution. In case you don't have soap nut, then regular detergent or surf, whatever we use in the house, dilute that in water, and then little of neem oil, 1 or 2 drops you add in that, and spray nicely to your plant. And pruning, if this much if you can control, that is also 70 to 80% your plant is saved. Now we'll talk about the bud falling. Sometimes the bud, the flower, you can say the bud formation has happened, and between these you can say inside this the bud was there. Now before it bloomed, so much pest attack was there, it could not bloom only, and the time when it was supposed to be bloomed, it was fully infected with your pest. So as I told you, for this also soap solution is best, but it has to be done at a regular intervals at the gap of, you can say, 3 to 4 days. Apart from this, one more very major reason is sunlight. If the plant is not kept in a proper nice sunlight where you get 5 to 6 hours of sunlight, the flowers will not bloom nicely, or even if they bloom, the bloom will not be that proper. And sometimes one more reason what I have observed is, suppose the bloom, the bud is ready for bloomed, and during that time only the atmosphere, you can say, it's too cloudy or the rains are there. So suppose this plant, this bud was supposed to be bloomed today, and another coming 2-3 days no sunlight will be there, so that period is over and this is not going to bloom at all and it will fall. So sometimes if the plant is full of buds also and it's not blooming, so one reason can be cloudy weather or rainy season. So don't start spraying anything to the plant. It is not any problem with the plant, it is the problem of the atmosphere, the climate. So that because it could not get proper sunlight, so the buds are falling. So a very easy plant, very you can say common plant, just need regular monitoring, pruning and regular spray of you can say soap nut solution, detergent or your bioenzyme. That is enough for this plant. And how to propagate this plant, how to obtain seeds from this, and how to grow this plant with the stem cutting, that will be taking in another video. Keep watching. Thank you.